I think our potential off-takers and partners, this is a huge shot of confidence towards what we're doing. It's obviously not easy to secure these DoD funds, so that process went through.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is the Senior Vice President of External Affairs for Nano One Materials Corp, Adam Johnson. And Adam, good to see you. How are you?
Great, Steve. Nice to be here.
Yeah, so exciting news out of the company last week. $12.9 million US in funding from the US Department of Defense. It was a huge announcement, and just want to get some thoughts from you a little bit on this particular funding and what it's really going to be doing.
Sure, no, happy to. Yeah, it was a big day for us. This really puts us in a much stronger financial position between the DoD funding we've got, other government support, as well as some of the sales around our unused land and some of the tough cost reduction measures we had to take. But overall, this puts us in a really stable position to meet our objectives of commercialization and heading into production of LFP licensing in the not too distant future.
Yeah, there is some inquiries about the DoD, but also Department of Energy and State or Inflation Reduction Act. There's a lot of things that are going on here, and a lot of grants that are available. It's kind of makes people's head spins kind of these days.
Yeah, it makes my head spin quite often, and I do this for a living. So yeah, no, it's tough. So maybe I'll walk you through a few of them. So we were able to secure funding through one of the U.S. tax measures, the U.S. Department of Defense, what they call Defense Production Act Title III, so DPA Title III. This is the only program that is able to fund things outside the United States. And Canada was deemed as a domestic source, actually, about 35 years ago. They put this program in place to really meet strategic objectives of what they're trying to hit. Department of Energy programs like the loan program that a lot of people talk about and see, those funds have to be spent on projects in America. So if we were, or when we are moving to the United States to grow there, we'd be having the opportunity to get access to those funds. And then last but not least, there's something called the MSP, which is the Mineral Security Partnerships. And that's something the U.S. State Department's running. Canada's very active along with 17 other countries, but that's really focusing in on the upstream. And unlocking mines in places like Africa and South America. And really, it's kind of like over the last 2 years, I've had a lot of conversations with government officials around the world, a lot in the United States, a lot in Canada, talking about kind of the broader opportunity that the midstream brings, kind of through a lot of stress testing on due diligence with auto OEMs and other energy storage companies. It was good to see the U.S. Department of Defense realize the importance of what Nano One's doing and how we unlock this broader potential.
Yeah, and about that, what is it they told you about what the company is doing that they thought this was a really good investment to make for the future, so to speak?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think you'll take one step back. I mean, I think what we need to recognize is there was a seismic shift, two big ones in the world over the last kind of 5 to 7 years. One is COVID, the access to PPE. And what that overall supply chain looked like, but also Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine and what the supply chains did for that. So Congress put funds into the DPA Title III to help create a new industrial base. They're looking to strengthen national security through better access to materials. Things like critical minerals are extremely important and the processing of that. And they have heard, we've been told, that some auto OEMs and others are saying that it's impossible to make LFP in North America. And so this is a great boost to the ability to unlock that broader opportunity, first in Canada, then later in the United States and other places.
Yeah. So obviously that's the United States. What about the feds in Canada? What's sort of been the response from them and supporting companies like Nano One and really trying to stop sort of the influx of products into China from China?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think, I mean, number one, Canada is trying to be in line with what the United States and the EU are doing. I think, we saw obviously a lot of big investments into kind of the downstream or the auto EV production in Canada. But now the government of Canada and others are thinking about how do they get that midstream to unlock and grow. And so there are consultations going on right now. One closes on October 10th. Looking at if there should be tariffs or other measures put in place on the battery supply chain from China. So Canada's looking at that. And you'll probably recall that Canada also put 100% duty on Chinese EVs. But really, this is about unlocking domestic supply and they think that LFP is a key part of that. And we've got a solution that really helps unlock that opportunity here.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a substantial amount of money when you talk about $12.9 million US. I'm sure you're getting lots of reaction from not only shareholders, but also people that you deal with on a regular basis that are a part of the process that you're trying to do this one pot process.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I think our potential off-takers and partners, this is a huge shot of confidence towards what we're doing. It's obviously not easy to secure these DoD funds. So that process went through. We're also honored to get John Molnar, who's a Republican chair of a House committee on the Chinese Communist Party, issued a statement on Friday commending the Democrats run government on these measures. So it was nice to see a bit of bipartisan support for what we're doing, and especially being north of the border. So we'll just keep trucking on and getting these battery materials into American and Canadian vehicles and other energy storage systems.
Well, it certainly is a big time for the company and a big announcement last week of this funding. So congratulations to you and the team. Adam, good to see you, and thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for the opportunity. Talk soon.
All right, there's Adam Johnson. He's Senior Vice President, External Affairs for Nano One Materials Corp.